And what hasn't even entered the chat are the inevitable retaliatory tariffs. When the US imposed tariffs on China in 2018, they were followed by retaliatory tariffs harming our exports. And once we take that into account, we find that tariffs did not save jobs. It reduced manufacturing employment and increased producer prices. Here's the source, and it gets worse. The modern economy is so integrated that even without retaliatory tariffs, we run into problems. When modern supply chains meet old-style protectionism, you see exporting American firms also import a lot of their intermediate goods. So when these imported intermediate goods get tariffed, it increases the cost for the firm and they reduce their exports. All of these modern complexities have led the economist Brian Albrecht to write, Econ 101 is wrong about tariffs. They're even worse in reality. Take your standard supply and demand graph with a tariff. First, we'll start here. This is the world price for a good. It's cheaper than most of the domestic market can produce, and so we import it. If we just look at the consumer situation without tariffs, we see they're doing pretty awesome. This green area here represents their consumer surplus, how much they're better off. The old story is that when you impose tariffs, right here, consumers lose out. The price they pay is now higher. But there's a bit of a silver lining. The domestic producer surplus, that area highlighted in yellow, is now bigger. I mean, sure, we've got less of the stuff than we used to have before, and there's also some waste from high-cost, inefficient producers entering the market, but at least somebody's getting a benefit. The argument in the Econ 101 model is that the benefit to producers is smaller than the loss to consumers, so we shouldn't do it. But if you incorporate the retaliatory tariffs and the interconnected intermediate goods supply chain, we find everybody's worse off. Consumers and producers. The effect of the tariff is just to increase the cost for producers, raising the supply curve. Now, outside of our little theory graphs, we can see this in the context of rare earth metals, a vital intermediate good. The United States imports a ton of these. While we are increasing our production of them, as you can kind of see in the blue down there, the global production is currently dominated by China. For many rare earth metals, there are no domestic alternatives. Fluorspar is 100% imported from Mexico, indium from South Korea, niobium from Brazil. The proposal to place a 10% tariff on all imports would go straight to the American price. They don't have any other choice. I've had some comments say that universal tariffs won't happen, going so far to accuse me of pretending he will implement them. Look, I'm an economist. I'm not a presidential candidate mind reader. That's not my job. All I can do is quote him. I do like 10% for everybody. And then straight from his campaign website, we will phase in a system of universal baseline tariffs on most goods. Let's just hope it's a smaller most than otherwise.